Hi everyone. So as you can see, we are finishing today the painting of the school bus floors, just the floors. We have gotten to the point in the project where we have completed the roof raise and we have sealed and treated all of the floors and welded any holes from the seats that we had. And now we are at the point where we are about to lay the subfloor down, put the vinyl flooring in, and working on things like electrical and plumbing so that it can really start becoming a Skoolie. But before we get that far, I wanted to stop for a moment and walk you guys through the process of how we got here and what we've done so far along the way. Before I get into the details, we decided to do a below window roof raise on it to allow for Tim, who is just over 6'4", to actually be able to stand up fully in the Skoolie, even in the bathroom. So what that means is we decided to basically cut the school bus in half and lift it up 6.5 inches from front to back. So in that process, we went through and we removed the side paneling and the paneling above the windows. So I feel like I should just pick it up and show you guys. Let's do that. Or no. So what we did is we started here with the panels underneath the windows, and then we also took out the panels up here above the windows, and we're actually gonna put these back on, but these are gonna end up all being covered by furniture or things like that. Then we started putting into place the jacks and the 4x4s, and Tim welded in metal supports to go across the bus from one end to the other in the front and the back. And once that was all in place, we started cutting. Anything on here that's the silver is the new metal, and all of the green is the old that we cut in half. So we cut through all of the hat channels as well as all of the sheet metal that was on the outside of the bus. And then once we were done with that, we started the process of jacking the bus itself up, the top half. So everything from here up 6.5 inches. And that process in total probably only took about an hour, but the preparation that Tim was out here doing took days and days of his patient skills of grinding and also removing all of the rivets with an air chisel, which we would highly recommend because having to remove rivets any other way is a pain in the butt. So as you can see here, this is all still the original ceiling. So there's no transition. There's just all of the new sheet metal that's silver down here, all around the rim. And then you come up here, and he actually made the cut right here and came right over here. So we were able to leave this window in as well as this door in, which was important to us because we definitely want the school bus to still look like a school bus. And then we were just able to fill in with sheet metal right here and sheet metal all across the front, and then sheet metal right there. And all of these little dots are all of the rivets that had to be air chiseled out and then had to be re-riveted back in. And there's an awesome rivet gun that I will tell you guys about. But let's go out here. As you can see, it's only 6.5 inches, but it definitely still looks like its original state. Once it's all painted, I think that if you don't know, it'll be really hard to tell. Also, please don't mind the fact that we turned the backyard into a junkyard. So in preparation for cutting the bus in half and doing the roof raise, one of the steps was taking off each of these hat channels so that we could take them down without damaging them, and then reinstalling them with fresh rivets. So you'll see as I said, when we did the roof raise, we wanted to do it below the windows so that we could keep the windows at a higher level so that they wouldn't be blocked by things like our couch or our bed. And in doing that, we had to make the choice of if we were going to raise it right here or raise it up there. But if we raised it up here, while it might have been easier, we would have lost the height of the emergency exit door. So we decided to keep cutting through the center on the back and then literally cut the door in half. Tim used some extreme skill and precision and body weight and was able to weld this back together straight, and it closes. And even did this little section right here, cut it out from down here and applied it up here so that we could still use full function of the hatch. And so as you can see, it's all closed up, and then we have 800,000 more rivets on this side. And then we actually were able to just remove these and pull the door off and not actually have it completely disconnected. We just kind of unhinged it up here and took off the swing arm and this bracket system right here so that we could leave it during the roof raise instead of taking the entire door off. So the door actually stayed connected for the most part. We just moved it out of the way to put that sheet metal in there and add this curved sheet metal right here. On these corners right here, Tim took a piece of poster board and created a template for these little corner pieces so that he could get an exact measurement of how much space he needed on this side to be able to rivet and on this side to be able to rivet it, and just shoved like crazy, shoved these this sheet metal section right here in there that way, and then wedged it in between where it needed to go, and then bent it into position. And then with some little extra body strength or pressure, we were able to re-drill the holes and rivet it all back down tight, and I think that it turned out really nicely. And once it's all painted and the body work is done, I think it'll actually look really clean and pretty close to the original. The front section of the bus, from the front door and driver's side window forward, was the only place that we did not do a quote-unquote below the window because we needed to be able to keep this intact. So at no point were we going to be cutting along here. That would be crazy. So popped off all those rivets with the air chisel and it separated, and then we measured the metal that needed to go up in between there, and it took 3 pieces, 2 curved ones and then the long sheet in the middle, and then we were able to rivet it back in. And so that's what the front of the below window roof raise looks like. Okay, so I think that's just about everything as far as these first few steps of our Skoolie conversion from school bus to off-grid Skoolie RV. If there's any other questions or anything that I might have missed that you guys were interested in knowing more about, feel free to ask any questions and let me know what you think of this and if I should keep doing this. But it's been a lot of fun, kind of stressful at times, but a really good learning experience and growing and challenging adventure that it's been a good adventure that I think in the end will all end up being a fun memory and very worth it. So yeah, if you guys have any other questions or any tips or tricks for the next part of our bus build, please feel free to let me know and follow along. Thanks.